Hello, everybody. Carson flying solo again, because nobody here loves me. You clicked on the link. You knew what this was. A Madea family funeral. It's interesting. This is Tyler Perry's, as he says right now, his final Madea film. Do with that what you will. It's a different conversation whether or not I actually believe that, but final Madea film, and it doesn't feel like his final Madea film. Like, there's no finality to the character or anything like that. It's just another Madea film that happens to be the last one he wants to do. So, but with that being said, this is only my second time actually sitting down and watching a Madea film. And it's weird because the last one, for long-time viewers, that I watched was Boo 2, a Madea Halloween. And it's weird because that one, it felt like nothing was happening. And this movie, it felt like nothing was happening, but a lot was happening. And it's really kind of threw me off. Because I was like, I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, it's been 30 minutes. Well, there's been a lot that's happened, but there's also not been a lot that's happened. So it's really weird. So I think the way that Tyler Perry makes that happen is that there's a big, you can really tell that a lot of his background comes from theater, because there are these big two people in a room talking scenes, or a group of people bullshitting and making jokes back and forth scenes. But there is no, he doesn't like fold it in. Like, okay, there is a large, there's a scene where Madea and Joe and Hattie and Ma are all talking with each other. And then Brian, closest to Tyler Perry as you can get, walks in the room. He's like, all right, is everybody ready to go? It's like, well, we could have this whole conversation in the car while we're going somewhere. We don't need to have it just here. You could go like they're all in the car, and then you have the next scene. It's just one long sequence. And it'll save you some time. And there's a lot of things like that. It's like, well, that didn't need to be here. That didn't need to be here. That could have been folded in with this. But there's less of it this time around. And what you replace it with is just a lot of setup, or not setup, but just a lot of characters talking, but the plot is progressing. Now with that, again, you can really tell he's got a huge theater background, because it's like, okay, we're gonna rush to put everything together. The audience needs to know literally everything within the first act. So, and then the third act, we resolve it. The second act always feels very middling. It's like there's some stuff going on, but no plot is progressing. So it's not like an onion where you're peeling back layers as you go through the story. It's more like you chop the onion up, you chopped it in half, you threw it in a pan, you cooked it, and then it's cooked and it's done in the third act. So it makes for a really weird way to experience a story. Now, for like a 2-act play, again, I totally get that, but he still divides it into like a 3-act structure without really making that work. So, I mean, you get all the usual problems of like, okay, you're vamping for way too long. What these characters are saying is whatever. Your experience may vary with how funny you find all of the stuff that he says. This is old hat, but what I would like to, people have probably already talked about this before, but more with his dramatic films, is Tyler Perry's... It's really weird. His moral compass in these films they're always very strange to me. Because Joe, a character that we're all supposed to be endeared to, is an old pimp. What? Okay. But then the movie also, like, stops dead for, like, 5 to 10 minutes where Tyler Perry, Madea, Joe, Ma'am, and everyone else, they get pulled over by a police officer, white police officer, and he is jacked way up, and everyone's like, what is going on? And it's really weird because it's like, okay, that's a weirdly serious topic to want to make jokes out of. And I'm like, what are you trying to say here? And Tyler Perry, or Brian, as Brian, it's so weird because Tyler Perry writes this, but Brian, the one who Tyler, no makeup for it. Brian is like, well, if I just obey the law and keep my hands right here, then the police officers will treat me just fine. Everybody else is in the car going, that doesn't matter. And it doesn't. And then the police officer comes up, he's really jacked up and everything, and he gives them the exchange happens, the officer goes, and he comes back, he's like, oh, have a nice day. Takes right off. It's like, okay, what are you trying to say with this? That police officers there's some weird, corrupt things happening? Yeah, okay, we got that. But your attitude and the way you're presenting this, it doesn't really come through. Like, it's a serious issue that needs to be addressed, and you're not taking it down with satire. You're not, like, examining it. You're just making some jokes, and it feels, I don't know, it feels really weird that he makes these jokes. If he were a white guy, I could totally get that, actually. Because generally speaking, y'all are gonna find out how much of a liberal I am today. Generally speaking, yeah, those kinds of interactions don't really go very well. There's a huge problem with police in this country. But as a white writer and director, I could see them being like, oh, well, everyone's overreacting and we're going to make some jokey jokes about this. But it's weird that this is coming from a black guy and he has this kind of stance on it. Now, I'm not saying that his stance is right or wrong. It's just really weird, and it feels weird. And that's kind of a microcosm of how I feel his moral stance is throughout a lot of this film, is like, Tyler Perry believes in nuance. I, honest to God, think he actually does believe in nuance. He's not a black and white, this is right, this is wrong kind of guy. I believe that. I don't know if he has the writing and directing chops to properly convey that, though. So it makes for really weirdly mixed messages. And what sucks is it's like, no, that's actually a really good point you're bringing up. The death that occurs and everything that happens because of it, when it culminates, when the climax, the emotional climax of this film occurs, it's like, okay, no, that's actually a really good point. And you have something really interesting to say about sacrifice and about loving someone and what it means to be with them and have kids with them and all that other stuff. I'm like, that is fascinating to me. But that you choose to spend 10 minutes on out of your 2-hour and 10-minute film. And then after that, you go kind of wishy-washy on it. It's like, okay, again, you have some points that are solid. They're rock-solid points. But then you're really weird with how you want to portray them. The other thing is I swear, every time it always comes back to this amazing Futurama clip. It was the end of the Fox run, and It's the one where Fry gets the robot devil hands, and the robot devil gets up on stage. He's like, you don't have characters get up on stage and say how they feel. That makes me feel angry. Every single time I hear anyone from now until the end of my life just say, I'm feeling angry, it's like, that's not how people talk. They just don't. Acting is, I'm acting angry. I am doing this angry. Oh, he's angry. But Tyler Perry films is always, I'm angry. This makes me upset. I don't know about this. It's like, oh, come on. But I gotta say, filmed fine. Filmed like a Tyler Perry film. Again, he is really in love with his words, so I don't think he can take an edit to save his life. I think part of the reason why I like this more than Boo 2 is I was sitting right across the aisle from a bunch of people that were loving this film. They were cackling with laughter the whole time. And I'm like, okay, that's a little infectious. This is not, I'm like, why am I kind of chuckling at this? I mean, to be fair, there are a couple parts where I'm like, damn it. But then them having the time of their life, that was actually kind of enjoyable. So if you're gonna see this, definitely, you don't need me to tell you whether or not you're gonna see this thing. You don't need my opinion on this one. I will say though, it's probably a good idea to go with people that also really enjoy Tyler Perry movies. If you and your friends happen to get a lot out of it, the bigger the crowd, the better. Just go with a packed house. And you know what? I think you'll end up having a lot of fun with this one. Again, if you already like Tyler Perry movies, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. If you're kind of like me, where it's like, I just do this to review something, then there's no need to go. But you'll make up your mind on that one. It's weird, this week feels like kind of a filler week, because Oscars just happened and the cinemas are like packed with just week-long showings of, Best Picture nominations, winners, all this other stuff. But next week, boy, yeah, I am really looking forward to Captain Marvel. I really am. The first trailer was like, it looks like a Marvel movie. And I mean, I feel like my feelings at this point are well documented. If you're not doing something like really crazy and cool, then I'm kind of like, whatever. But I saw the second trailer for this Captain Marvel movie. I'm like, all right. You know what? I'm kind of excited for this one. I think this is going to be some fun stuff right here. So I'm looking forward to it. Plus, I love Brie Larson. I love her a lot. And it looks like Samuel L. Jackson is going to be like a main character to this movie, whereas all the other Marvel movies, he's kind of a side character at best. This one, there seems to be some scenes that are almost like they're kind of like buddy cops in a way, and I'm kind of like, all right, I'm kind of into this. But I'm really excited for more cosmic stuff. Again, love Brie Larson. So I'm really kind of stoked for this one. I'm really excited to see how this one comes out. So, yeah, until next week, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/glassfilmshouse, facebook.com/glasshousefilms, and Twitter, where I'm most active, @glasshousefilms. And I will see you next week for Captain Marvel. Bye.